Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Tuesday. I'm going to start sharing my screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm looking at. We have SQQQ in open position right now. I have, I've been adding to this as it's been indicating signs of higher lows and higher highs. We just broke above a $30 resistance. One of the things that I do want to talk about today is that on the 1 hour time frame, looking at QQQ, we are now trading below the EMA line. So when asking the question, why is the market selling off? One of the things that we can quickly talk about is what was released today. So we had factory orders and JOLTS, which are job openings, both coming in lower than expected and or coming in lower than the prior month. So what this means is it is showing signs of an economic slowdown, especially in the labor market. That's not necessarily a bad thing, right? I really do believe that the market is not selling off because of those reports, but because of two things. There's the technical side of market was already very overbought based off of recent patterns. We've been talking about it. I mean, I shared all of my red days with you guys last week. I had a really rough week last week, and that's just part of trading. Sometimes you work really well with the market, sometimes you don't, especially if you begin to fight the trend. That's just one thing that I continue to do, and I talked about it with my LPP team. I think, now looking back, now it begins to make a little bit more sense. Now that the market is actually selling off, now I can step on the gas, right? My 2,500 share position size last week, it did hurt when I was taking those losses, but being able to take a 15 to 20,000 share position on SQQQ, I mean, I can really step on the gas and I can make back my money in one day of what I lost last week, right? And I think that's the beautiful part about trading, is knowing when to step on the gas when market direction is in your favor. On the 4 hour time frame, I want to be very open with you guys. Market is still very, very bullish. We're trading above the EMA. We're trading above the moving average. We are far from the EMA, which is why, again, it doesn't surprise me that the market is pulling on back. We're simply overbought, and I think it's just pulling on back. I don't think that it's a crash. I don't think it's anything, that is out of this world. I think the market is simply correcting itself, and it's even during the most bullish times that the market still ends up pulling back a little bit, correcting itself, and then giving new buyers, a better chance or a better entry to get in if you think that it's going to continue to rally. The only time that I would begin to get worried is if we actually begin to trade below the moving average and begin to make lower lows and lower highs. But as of right now, it's too early to tell. Right now, I just see this to be a pullback, not necessarily an aggressive sell-off. And we are testing our support range right here at the EMA line. If we break below 318, I talked about it with my LPP team today, I can see us retrace back to around 310, 311 if we break below the EMA. If we begin to show signs of a support here, then again, it wouldn't surprise me if the market finds a support and then begins to try to go back to retest that 322 resistance that it has on, QQQ, right? So very excited to follow up. I'll keep you guys up to date with that. But as of right now, for the overall day, right, we're getting rejected by the moving average and we're getting rejected by the EMA line and forming lower highs and lower lows. But again, market direction can always change. So make sure that you have some form of exit plan, especially if you think that it's too early to tell for the market to be selling off. One of the last things that I want to talk about is, I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of different news outlets talk about it, on how the US is no longer going to be the world's currency, and how Russia and China and Saudi Arabia and India are like coming together to work towards building a new form of currency. It seems like they are removing it. I know that this was something that was talked about, a couple of years ago, but it never actually went through. Now, supposedly, they are working on actually making it happen. So we will see how this will affect our market. We are seeing oil prices drop as of right now. There is the talk of OPEC, right, cutting down on production. And if that does happen, then we'll see oil prices skyrocket. Inflation will go back up because of how it will cause, oil prices at the pump to go back up for people like you and I. So again, something to follow up with. I appreciate you guys' time. Just wanted to keep you guys up to date. If you have any questions, feel free to message us via Discord, and that's that first link in the description. For the past 2 days, I've been doing really well. Yesterday I did 14K. Right now I'm up a little bit over $10,000 on the day. And it's just, it's really nice to get back in that rhythm. And one of the things that I just want to remind you is, for all those out there that are either struggling this week and or were struggling last week, remember, every day is a new opportunity, especially if you close it out and you allow it to, present itself. And the biggest thing that I would focus on is knowing when to step on the gas, right? Last week is a great example for me where I really was struggling with I was way too early to shorting the market. I did have a position shorting the market, but it was a relatively smaller position to what I normally trade with. I took a couple losses and it did hurt, right? It still hurts the ego. But once the direction became a little bit more clear, like it's doing this week, I'm able to step on the gas. I'm able to go from 2,500 shares to over 15,000 shares. And that's where we can make the big money, right? Knowing when to step on the gas. And it's beautiful for the haters because they hate to see us in the green. So I appreciate your time. Hope that we're into thumbs up. Don't forget to stay connected. And again, if you want to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow and you want to learn more on how you can get access to that every single day, that's that second link in the description down below. Don't forget about our GTR giveaway, and that's our fourth link in the description down below. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.